What's up? It's Major 7th Backstage, New Old Heads Podcast, 1/4 of the New Old Heads Podcast. And I'm honored to have a hip-hop living legend, the one and only PHAROAHE Monch is sitting down with us.
Peace. How's everything?
Everything is good, man. I appreciate
to be
you.
here, man.
I appreciate you sitting down with us. Indianapolis welcomes you, man. We're going to jump right into it. I know you just got done with your sound check, so...
Is it
But we're gonna start it over. All right. So here's my question. Here's one of the questions I thought about. I think your music always has meaning, whether it's personal, whether it's inspirational for somebody else, whether it's just life experiences, anything that you build from. So what still inspires you to be creative and to write, to do new records, to perform, to travel at this stage of your career?
I love it, man. I think I got into it for the right reasons in the beginning, That's where I start with that question is I just got into hip-hop from the full cultural aspect of it and everything that was flowing at the time. So I never put a time limit on it. And it was always about being creative and artistic and adding to the culture. So those are the things that feed me when I'm inspired by a film or a conversation or somebody's joint a verse or bars. That's the fuel that gives me life. So I just try to give it back.
Word. We had one of our listeners, they submitted a question. What would you call your biggest inspiration outside of hip-hop?
It's so many things, man, and it's a bug to me because I include a lot of things. Like when something is dope, I'd be like, that's some hip hop shit. You know what I mean? Like
right.
So, but yeah, from Octavia Butler to directors to films that I've seen, like the Old Man Logan movie was really dope, and the last what's the name of the Mad Max joint? In terms of films, really inspired me to write, just in terms of how dope it was. So, and just life, man. You live life and you love and lose love and people leave and, life is a story itself. So as I live life, I get inspired by existing in it.
Word. Lyrically, you've always been a beast lyrically. That's one of the things that I've always loved about your music. You're able to tie in the lyrics, keep the bars, and still have the great records. How would you describe your writing process? I know that's probably a...
Right now, no. It's a lot of different things. I can't even break it down into one thing. Like, I can have a conversation, an inspiring conversation with someone, and there could be a word in that conversation that I'll leave with, and it'll spark 24, which lead into a concept. So I'm constantly trying to pull from everything in life. Like, I'm looking around all the time and trying to get inspiration for bars and concepts.
Word. We were talking as well prior to you getting here about the Queens aspect, you being from Queens. Now, we looked it up and it said Organized Confusion was 87, Tribe was 85. So were you guys, were you two, were the groups familiar with each other or how did that work?
I mean, shit.
Damn. We did a little research on that one, you know what I'm saying?
It's around the same time because they might have predated us in that. I think they was working with a cat named Dave Funkenklein before we were. Dave was responsible for breaking hip hop in Europe, taking Tribe and Jungle Brothers to the UK and Germany, and then he went out to work with Hollywood Basic, and he just had his ear to that type of artistry. And so when we went out to sign with our first record label, Hollywood Records, we heard about this legendary dude already who had been working with Jungle Brothers and all this stuff. And he had Naughty in there and Cypress in there. Like, he had an insane ear for for artists. And so yeah, about the same time, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were we were wondering about that one. I know we took it back a little bit. We were wondering about that one. Another one that came in was, I remember back in the, I think it was early 2000s. You were working with Denon Porter. Is there any unreleased material? Y'all got albums y'all sitting on that, you know what I'm saying, we don't have?
It's songs. It's definitely songs
Okay.
that we haven't. We didn't put out for certain
You're smiling like
reasons.
it's an album, no EP.
No, it's not. It's not that many songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Denon is dope. So
He's amazing.
if you had to pick one hip hop album, I'm not gonna even do that because that's hard. Could you give me just 5 albums that you can't go without? I'm talking about hip hop albums. You can even take it to any genre. We can open it up because I know you probably get the hip hop question all the time.
I try to stay on hip hop.
Okay.
I think for me, Takes a Nation to Millions,
Word.
Low End Theory, as well as Midnight Marauder.
Yes, sir. Classic.
I'll go with Breaking Atoms, and I'll go with. Yeah, it is hard.
That's all good. We ain't judging you. I'm not judging.
I'll go with Black Star.
Black Star. Fair enough. All right, so my last question is, PTSD was the last record, 2014, if I'm not mistaken. That title track was crazy, by the way. Are you working on anything currently? Like, is there, new album in the works, EP, collaborations, anything like that?
Yeah, man. I think this new project, probably every artist says this shit every time. It's the most aggressive. It's dark. The bars go back to internal affairs and even dips into organized confusion.
Okay.
Styling. It's real illmatic bars, but the energy on it, it's a rock vibe, and it's not me with a band. I've like joined up with cats that are illmatic, and I'm not gonna drop the names of who the musicians are.
Okay.
Because it's too early, but they have names for themselves, and it's really aggressive, man. It's a lot of energy, and it's very dark. It's the darkest record I've ever done.
Darkest record.
Yeah, dark meaning, what happy chords sound like.
Yeah.
This shit is just
Yeah.
all the way through. I think I lighten up on one of the joints so far, but it's not negative energy in that sense. It's aggressive energy in that it makes you screw your face up dark.
I need that.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yes. So there's a gospel version. I've heard snippets
Right.
of Simon Says. Have you heard that?
I have not heard it.
I was hoping you heard that so you could explain how you
God. felt
when you heard it. You haven't heard it yet.
No, I haven't heard it yet.
I wish I had it. We only have a snippet from somebody, one of our homies.
That's amazing.
It definitely exists. It's real.
Dope.
Hey, well, we appreciate your time, man.
Thank
We're
you,
not
man.
gonna hold you. Is there anything else you want to say or shout out before we get going?
New music, man. The new music is really dope. And it's coming soon.
My man, PHAROAHE Monch live from Indianapolis. We are the new old heads. I am Major 7th, and we'll catch you next time on Backstage. Peace.